Good morning, Central Region. I am so excited to be talking to you guys all today about something that's really near and dear to my heart, and that would be a Cutco summer. So let me go ahead and share with you guys what your summer could look like here with our organization, especially here in our Central Region. But before I do that, I do want to go ahead and just dive in on a little bit of maybe what your summer used to look like, or what my summer used to look like as well. So as far as for myself, I used to be a lifeguard, as some of you may know. I was a lifeguard for 2 years, and I was a head lifeguard for a year and a half. And before I started working here at Cutco, I wasn't really growing too much by watching water all day and getting a tan. I had a really good scan in terms of watching the water, but I wasn't really watching my own personal growth. I wasn't watching my own personal development. I'm sure those of you that were lifeguards in the past can definitely feel something similar there. But if you weren't, as far as other jobs, maybe it was a babysitting job that you had, and maybe you did grow a little bit, but it wasn't the growth that you were looking for. Maybe it was a fast food job. Maybe it was retail. Maybe it was manual labor. I know, I tried to do a couple different things before I went to college, and just I just did whatever I could to make some extra money. I painted for a summer. That was brutal. But being a lifeguard wasn't it was fun, but I didn't know what fun was until I had a Cutco summer. So of course, that's just what a typical student job looks like. As far as here in Vector in our organization, some of the biggest things that you will be doing this summer with us, this summer of 2021, is, of course, personal development, my very favorite part of our business. You're going to really develop your soft skills. You're going to earn what you're worth while you're having fun doing it. And that was my favorite thing, I would say, in terms of the income aspect. Being able to earn what I was worth really just determined, and it set me on a path to really realize that I wouldn't be in a position where I want to be paid based off of my time, but I want to be paid off of what kind of value I brought to the marketplace in this case. So, especially here with Vector, I absolutely love my job. Love working with cool people. And before I did graduate from college, I did have multiple job offers, and I interviewed around, and I wanted to see what was out there. And what I found was that the grass wasn't greener on the other side. It was just greener whenever or wherever I watered it. And I chose not to take those positions, and I actually chose to turn down med school before graduating from the University of Illinois because of how much I loved the people, the opportunity, the growth, and how amazing of a vehicle we have to inspire and impact as many people as we could. And that's one of my biggest dreams and missions here for my time here at Vector. So let me go ahead and share with you guys a little bit about what I learned, especially in my Vector summers. I'm sure those that are summer or those of you that were managers on here or branch managers on here before, I'm sure you can definitely relate to this. But for those that have not experienced a full summer yet, maybe as a representative or as an assistant manager, I'm going to go ahead and share with you guys a little bit about what I learned. So number one, I really just learned how to manage my time. That was huge to me because how I managed my time was really how I managed my focus, my priorities, and pretty much everything that I wanted to accomplish as a student. And being a student at UIUC, I was always asking myself, am I growing? Am I becoming a better version of myself? And how I measured that was when I analyzed what happened over my summers. My summers were my way of launching a cannon into the next chapter of my life versus kind of just like wading in the water and just chilling, relaxing, chillaxing. It was my way to really just launch myself into success. I used my summers as a launching pad every single year to just drive me to that next point in my life. So of course, with college, it was really, really important for me to maximize what I could do to build up my resume. Becoming the best version of myself. I was always thinking about that. I was thinking about how can I utilize Vector to have an amazing summer. And what I love about Vector is Vector gives us freedom on when we work, but with that, there's of course that responsibility. And for those of you that just graduated, from high school this past year, and maybe this is your first time, doing the job like this. I know some of you may have gotten started back in the summer of 2020. But for those of you that just recently got started with us, maybe you're used to a clock in, clock out type of job where your hand is held all the time, you're told what to do. There's structure, when to do something, what to do. And when it comes down to it, the people that really enjoy their lives and have that freedom that most of you want, it comes down to really growing and becoming that next best version of yourself. And it's not that I only care about growing, it's that I'm able to determine my own paycheck and of course earn what I am worth. Growing, reflecting, planning, these were five-star habits that I was developing. And I was so excited about that. Of course, that freedom and independence that I just mentioned, that a vector summer will give you. Of course, you've got to be responsible with that, but take advantage of it. It's huge. You get to determine your own paycheck, which was, of course, one of my favorite things. Just to be able to, save up enough money to graduate from school debt free, which I'll talk about a little bit here. But, if I were to give you an analogy, vector is a lot like college. Your hand isn't held as much it was in high school. As far as picking classes, you don't have to pick these certain classes every single year or every single semester. You get to choose what you want to study. Yes, there's a little bit of a framework and a backbone that you got to work off of, but it's really common to be in a position where we seek authority or we seek someone to help us or give us guidance. And of course, you have that here in Vector, but in Vector University, one of the biggest things is your hand won't be held fully. We'll let you be responsible. We'll let you try out things. We'll let you fall on your face a little bit. And that's how you learn. And that was the biggest thing for me was being able to make mistakes because I knew that the more mistakes I made now, the more I would learn from them early on in my life. And of course, with freedom comes responsibility. Not told when and what to do. And being able to manage my time effectively, I knew that I could not procrastinate. In school, sometimes I procrastinated, but I knew that at work, if I procrastinated, it put my whole week behind, or put myself, a couple weeks behind, or maybe even a month behind of where my goals were. And if I wait to the last day here at Vector to affect, or not the last day of the week to affect my schedule or paycheck, I just simply won't be as effective. And that's just where that responsibility comes in that I really loved because it allowed me to step into my power. So let me go ahead and teach you guys how to take advantage of your summer. Does anyone want to learn about that? Sounds good. So let me go ahead and share with you guys how to gain that independence and drive. So my message is how to get the most out of your summer. So as far as that, number one is gaining that independence and drive. It's also holding yourself accountable, being the CEO of your own life. And then, of course, I love that one. You are the CEO of your life. And of course, it all stems from planning. So, by the way, common jobs, most jobs, to make a decent amount of money, you got to work long hours, many hours. Let's think about some common jobs: babysitting, lifeguarding, manual labor, retail, fast food. Let's say you want to earn 5 grand in a summer. What does that look like? Let's think about it. Let's say there were 12 weeks in your summer. And if you work backwards and divide it out, you'd have to work 40 hours a week at $10 an hour for 12 weeks, which, by the way, you'd make 4,800 bucks. Take taxes out, and you're left with roughly 4 grand. So it's very challenging for a student to make $5,000 in the summer at a common job. And I'll show you how to do that here. So let me frame you how this will look like for you. So as far as here in Vector, I'm going to give you guys several different examples as far as, maybe what earning a lower amount of money looks like, a medium, and a high amount of money looks like. So let's start off with earning $2,000. Earning $2,000 can be done extremely part-time. I know a lot of you will do that this spring, by the way, before you even finish up school, before your summer starts. What that looks like, that's about 5 demos a week, about 3 to 4 orders per week. Take a $300 conservative average order size. I know a lot of you have a much higher conservative or a much higher average order size, especially after Siggy Steve's message. Uh, all of your all of your average orders are going to skyrocket, by the way. But that's going to create about $1,000 in sales. And think about the law of averages. Not every week will be $1,000 in sales. What's really important is to understand that some weeks you might sell 200, some weeks you might sell 2,000 at this pace. So 10 weeks, let's say you're working for about 10 weeks in the summer, that's 10K in sales. Guess what? If you're at zero CPO right now, which some of you may be, that's $2,000 in income, really, 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 really part-time. And that's about $3,000 in income if you're at 10K before the summer starts. I know some of you are getting close to that mark, and you got a little bit to go. So, of course, I know a lot of you can reach 10K before that summer starts, and then you catapult yourself into a pretty awesome summer. So that's what it looks like, extremely part-time. Now, benefits that's a big resume builder. Getting these soft skills, your confidence is being boosted. You're around really positive people. You know, the environment is excellent. I love the environment here in Vector. And, you know, being a K Club winner is something that's also something that's a big possibility. I know we've got several K Club winners, you know, in the Lincoln Park office, some that are about to get them soon. I know Bo's about to get his K Club achievement, same with Scotty. And as far as another big achievement that you can earn this summer working really part-time is earning that President's Club letter, a hand-signed letter of recommendation from the CEO of our company. That's awesome to add to a resume. That's how you catapult yourself into success. And that's working really part-time, by the way. Now let me show you an example of what earning 5 grand would look like here in Vector. So what that looks like is, of course, I'm going to preface this with just some standards. Some standards to make this amount of money would be to just stay consistent. Consistency is the biggest key to this. And one of the best ways to stay consistent is to make sure your standards are in check as far as, you know, when you're waking up, going to bed, going to Champs Club on a maybe 3 or 4 or 5 times a week type of basis, just so that you're not waiting till the last minute. Every day, just focus on chipping away at that goal. Focus on booking up 2 appointments per day. Maybe you want to spend 4 days booking up 3, 5 days booking up 2. It's a lot of averages. Most important thing, like I said, is just staying consistent. So making 5 grand is a little bit more realistic. Let's say you're booking about 12 to 14 demos a week. Let's say you complete 10 of them a week. About 6 to 7 orders at a $300 average order size, by the way, which a lot of you have a higher one. That would be about 2 grand in sales. 2 grand in sales over 10 weeks is $20,000 in sales. And by the way, if you're at zero right now, that's $5,000 in income. And if you're at 10K before the summer, that's $6,500 in income. So pretty exciting stuff. But again, focus on the law of averages when you think about these. Some weeks you might sell 1,000, some weeks you might sell 3,000, some weeks you might sell 500, some weeks you might sell 4,000. And as long as you focus on the standard of booking 12 to 14 demos a week, this will happen. And I won't guarantee it, but I know that I've seen it happen many times, many summers, even myself. Again, most important thing is staying consistent. Now let me show you what maybe a little bit above average would look like, maybe for you. The biggest thing is, again, consistency. If you're above average in here, I'm gonna help you understand this. We're gonna work backwards. So what would it look like to make 8,500 bucks in the summer? Would anyone be excited about that? Of course, most definitely. So let's go and walk through it. How to make this bank. So above average, in 10 weeks, $30,000 in sales. It's making about 8,500 bucks. So if we want to think about how many sales do we need to make a week? Let's think about that. Total sales per week. We gotta do $3,000 in sales over 10 weeks to create $30,000 in sales. Do you guys agree? Great. So let's work backwards again. How many demos do you have to book that week or per week on an average basis? It's gonna be about 18 demos. 18 demos with, I'd say about a 350, 360 average order size, which of course your average order size will reach that point, especially with the messages that you're hearing about yesterday as well as today. Now let's think about how many you have to complete a week. Yes, I am calculating that in as well. That's completing 15 demos a week. So let's say you book 18, complete 15. Next would be orders per week. Let's think about that one. Let's say conservative, a little bit over half closing percentage, nothing crazy, about 9 orders per week. Let's say you got a 333 average order size, that's 3K in sales per week. That's a comma paycheck weekly. Would anyone in here be excited about a comma paycheck every single week? Well, this is how you do it. If this sounds exciting to you, I'd recommend taking a screenshot of this slide and just use this as your framework. I could do the same with the other slides as well. Let's go back to the slide over here with making 5 grand. If you'd like to take a screenshot here, you're more than welcome to. You got 5 seconds. 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. All right, let's go back one more. And here is earning $2,000, extremely part-time. So for those of you that maybe already have something else going on this summer, or maybe you are going to be doing some traveling, who knows? Of course, stay safe. But 5, 4, take a screenshot. 3, 2, 1. All right, cool. Let's go back. Skip ahead back to where we were at. So we just finished up talking about what this would look like for you, making $8,500 in a summer. But beyond the money, I know, money isn't everything. What's really important, like I said to me before, was that personal growth opportunity. And as far as that personal growth opportunity, before I do dive into that, this is above average, yes, but in reality, it's not really difficult to do. It's really not. It's just a skill set of independence. You just got to build that client base, focus on the process. I wish I started earlier. In terms of in my first or my second summer, I guess, because I started in the summer of 2016, and I only had 6 weeks before school started, and then my first full summer, I guess, I was Sebastian's assistant manager in the Oak Lawn office, and I got a chance to sell during one of our push contests. And as far as building up that base, it was getting those wheels turning. I wish I got them turning a little bit earlier, but of course, this is very, very doable. And from an income standpoint, this is great. This is what I love. Being able to earn what you're worth is huge. And by the way, all of your customers that you've sold to maybe last summer or recently, Cutco owners love buying more Cutco, and they love recommending more people as well. So if your concern is like your names list or building your base, just talk to your manager. They'll help you out with that. They want to help you. But of course, earning what you're worth is always a big win. Now, the personal growth opportunity. What I love about this business is I know that I'm in business for myself, but not by myself. It's kind of like a juggernaut to be successful. People that are not successful cannot manage themselves. So, things like freedom, independence, and self-drive. You think about how hard do people work to get to the next level? How hard do athletes or celebrities work to get to where they want to be? To get anywhere, you need to have drive. And Vector gives us that independence to go and thrive. Give us some great coaches that want to help us gain those skills, hitting those appropriate goals and striving to hit them. Everyone starts here as a sales rep. I love that about our business. Everyone here starts here as a sales rep. Even Mr. Strine. Every single person. So we all know what you're going through. We can always help you. Our biggest thing and what I loved about management was being able to help others. Things like goal setting. Those are always huge. And of course, being able to hit goals is always fun. Crossing them off the list is always a blast. Handling adversity and rejection. Some of the biggest skills are to deal with that adversity and rejection. Sometimes we do fear this. You may never ask out that girl or that guy because you fear rejection. Guess what? Your customer says no on the phone or no to a demo. Who cares who's next? That's rejection, but hey, one of the best things you could do for your life at a young age is master how you manage that adversity. Build up that tough skin. Now, as far as a quick story, I know I had an opportunity to really just step up and be a leader in the summer of 2017. And I wanted to sell 20K in an SE2 push. And the push was going really, really bad for me. First, I guess 11 appointments I sold, I think 100 something CPO. And it was tough. And I ended up selling in that 17-day period. I ended up selling 21,656. And that story is always going to be with me. That number is always going to be embedded in my brain. And I had two options after that, point where I wanted to quit. Either stay motivated, keep going, or quit. Most people, they quit right before they reach that success. And I've wanted to quit so many times here, so many times. But of course, when adversity hits, we always have two choices: give up or handle that adversity. People that are most successful, by the way, are the ones that persevere through those obstacles and challenge themselves to be successful. I'm sure you guys can recognize this face here, J.K. Rowling. She wasn't turned down by one or two or five major publications. She was turned by 12 major publications. 12 major publications rejected the Harry Potter script. By the way, Harry Potter is now the best-selling book series in history. Pretty awesome. Elon Musk. Did you guys know that PayPal was initially voted the worst business concept of the year? Now it's worth $300 billion. What about Walt Disney? 300 rejections from bankers and financiers for the Mickey Mouse concept. Now, the whole idea of Disney nets over $50 billion annually. $50 billion annually. And it pains me when people give up on themselves because these success stories are so common. Just talk to someone about it. You just got to step it up. And of course, overcoming adversity is always a big, big win. Big thing is act, don't react. So, of course, make sure you seize that opportunity. You've got an awesome opportunity to make a great deal of income. I graduated from the University of Illinois debt free because of Vector. And I'm so blessed to be able to say that. I'm so grateful for the opportunity, for the people, for the skills, for what I've learned. It's been a blast so far, and I can't wait to see what's next. The growth, it's been amazing. Having a mentor, having coaches, having other managers to reach out to, Sebastian, Michael, being able to have a mentee helping people grow, like my team, my little brother Bart, and also having support, having my mom and family as a support system and other managers as a support system for me. I absolutely love that. And there's never been a better time to be a part of our business. Never. And I'm so excited for the summer of 2021 because I'm ready to change some lives, and it's gonna be wicked to say the least. The job's remote. It's safer, it's easier, it's more time efficient. Jobs are harder to come by. So we get to influence and inspire and change more lives. You get to stack up that resume. Those are a huge advantage right now. People are going to ask in the summers of 2020, summers of 2021, what did you do to separate yourself from your peer group? I built up my resume. And guess what? Business is booming, and it's going to keep on booming. And either you're going to be a part of that boom or you're just going to watch it happen. And I don't know about you guys, but watching something happen isn't as exciting as being a part of the action. So just really decide what you want and then act as if it were impossible to fail. Thank you so much.